Mosquito on my screen hasn't moved in the past 5 minutes. 8th dimensional super beings are doing this to me right now. Insects trying to get inside of your home. Insects trying to leave. Do you ever feel bugs on you when there are no bugs? They're the ghosts of bugs that you've killed. I wish I could unread this. Sometimes YouTube comments are complete garbage, and then there are comments like this. Great workout music for my pet snails. Thanks. I put a spell on you. Woman 55 unleashes a swarm of bees on sheriff's deputies who were serving an eviction. The world's human population is forecast to surpass 8 billion in the coming months. Compared to ants, that is a mediocre milestone. My dog is angelic. The roach is watching the sunset with them. I bet he's not thinking about other women. Meanwhile, in Australia, I think I just discovered Ant Fight Club. Hey, can you dress up as a lamp for Halloween? Yeah, but why? Woman on the train just tapped me on the arm and said, sorry, is that yours? Looked on the floor where she was pointing, and it was a massive stag beetle. Like, does she think I littered it, or that is my pet, or what? The US government gave me 23 million to create a super weapon, and this is the prototype I've sent since I blew it all on dry. Filled and a spoonful of mango juice. She does love her sweets. She doesn't feel love, and she cannot comprehend sweetness. Her heart is a long tube. Imagine you beefing with me, and I pull up to your crib with 9,000 termites. Whole foundation gone, cause you want to talk crazy. He looks so tired. Let him nap. He looks like warm buttered toast. Warm-blooded creature. Wow, I'm so chilly. Cold-blooded creature. Wow, I'm chilly. European bee eaters. It never fails to crack me up that the first time I posted this, half of my followers thought this picture was a large caterpillar. Mosquitoes fly close to the ear because they love it when people punch themselves in the face. I'm so sorry, my subscribers and followers. I've been a giant spider this whole time. Photographers captures beauty of the insect kingdom. If I were a caterpillar, I would probably emerge from my cocoon as another slightly fatter caterpillar. Taylor Swift is now a millipede. The smallest wooden spoon in the world is 4.5 millimeters long. The guy who made it managed to persuade an ant to hold the spoon and photographed the fantastic size comparison. Nature is weird as hell. I just watched a beetle climb a big tree, fight like 5 other beetles, throw them off said tree. He then proceeded to mate with the female at the top, and once he finished, this dude just yeeted her off the tree too. I was harvesting raspberries, and I see ladybugs mating on the top of a red raspberry. Your best friend is dying, and you have to eat this to save them. Rest in peace. Senators have 6 limbs, and are therefore insects. Discuss. Oh, this. I don't like this. Weevils. They're so cute, and they look like they should be wearing top hats. Bugs are just differently shaped dogs, so please be sweet to them. Looking for a caterpillar. Must have 5 years of experience as a butterfly, and at least a master's degree. This will be an unpaid position. How am I supposed to believe humans are the dominant species when a spider over here is building a house with their butt? Someone said Bloomberg looks like the grasshopper from A Bug's Life, and I cannot stop thinking about it. What if the coins you find randomly at the bottom of drawers and in between couch cushions are actually from spiders trying to pay rent? Today I learned that up to half of the worker ants in a colony are only pretending to work, just to look busy so that they don't get tasked with anything. I respect ants so much more. I hate when there's a big bug in the room and someone says, leave it alone. Why are you defending the bug for? I don't know what kind of riz this bug's got because you must be with it. I just told my husband in a very distressed tone that I stepped on a slug on my way back inside and I was barefoot and traumatized, and he said to me, Rodrigo, did you step on Rodrigo? I invite you over to my house, and while we're greeting each other at the door, I turn around and yell, down boy, down, no, and you just see a caterpillar moving very slowly across the floor towards you. 4-year-old beekeeper, distracted by a roly-poly. Best picture in the world. I was drunk as hell when I designed my Cash App card. What is this, bro? Adulthood isn't always work and builds. Sometimes it's new friends. If a bug got stuck in your ear and you went to the emergency room and they removed the bug and put it into a little specimen cup, would you want to keep the bug? What a specific question. I saw a post earlier about how science diagrams look like shit posts, and I immediately thought of this. Someone in this museum has a sense of humor. Dude, your fly is down. Existence is pain and suffering. Think of 3 friends. If none of them are beetles, you are a beetle. 1 out of every 4 animals on the planet is a beetle. This guy on my flight just told his girlfriend he would not date her if she became a worm, and she is crying. Mrs. G is gone for a few days, so I brought my worms into the living room. They're not usually allowed. Here's a selfie I took. Goth. Out Out of every pun and play on words I've seen on this site, this is the one that makes me so unreasonably angry. Do not kill a bug loose in your home. Do not release it outside. Mail it to me. I teach them circus tricks. If my training doesn't work, I will eat it. Range of the coconut crab. Empire. I misread this as rage and got really scared. Me. I am a human being, Earth's dominant species, and I will not be wasp. Screw off. Okay. And's the moment I drop a sugar cube on the ground. We like to celebrate all kinds of birthdays here at the zoo, big and small. On May 30th, our insectarium staff threw a very special birthday for a giant stag beetle. It's very rare for these beetles to reach a year in age, so it was quite the celebration. The eldest child I nanny, she's 5, has a game where she sits us all in a circle and gives us each a coin with a sticker on one. Anyways, if we flip our coin and it lands sticker side up, we have to touch the dead bee she keeps under her bed in a Tupperware. We have guests. Go get me the fancy snail teapot. In an attempt to reduce the cleaning costs, the Amsterdam airport installed a picture of a fly in the urinals so that men can aim at it and avoid splashing the urine. It worked, the men. Target locked, ready to destroy. Male ladybugs can spend up to 4 hours mating with a dead female before they realize something is not right. Did you mean are inchworms cool? Inchworms are cool, but they are insects. This lunar moth doesn't have a mouth or a digestive system. It will only live for about a week with the single purpose of mating. I'm not here to eat or sleep or any of that. I'm just here to mate and then die. That's it. Dang, it's a bed bug. The ant's looking up at me after I take him for a car ride and drop him off a dozen lifetimes away from the rest of the colony. I want to put a spider on their laps and see what happens. Why are people on this side so mean? This is actually really cool. That's a braid with 3 different hair colors from what looks like 3 different ethnicities. Those girls are all friends. This is a beautiful display of friendship. What is wrong with you? I want to put spiders on their laps and see what happens. Comes out in late spring, flies around aimlessly, slamming itself against windows and walls, accidentally flips on its back, dies, refuses to elaborate further. I told my 4-year-old he had a moth crawling on the back of his neck, and he just said very plainly, identify it. OMG, he's here. What is he thinking about? Is he thinking about me? I wonder if he likes me. You cannot expect me to believe there is a race of creatures living in well-ordered homes who spend all day making candy, while their evil counterpart hides out in a menacing fortress that only seeks destruction. I love you, plastic worm bike man. How did people first figure out that it was that thing that make this noise? I could see that taking a long time. Were there just like thousands of years where people were like, yeah, the trees are screaming. They do that in the summer. I remember when Bugs Bunny shot someone because he wouldn't stop coughing. Mosquitoes waking up from winter. Like, this somehow ends up in your house. What are you doing? Selling that bad boy at retail for 12,000 bells. A friend sent me a picture of this moth and it reminded me a lot of Bongo Cat. So, Bongo Moth. My favorite part of Dracula, 1931, is the cricket that sleeps in his own little coffin. Therapist, Spider Cat isn't real. He can't hurt you. Spider Cat, stop asking me, what are you doing? You know I am having enrichment time in my enclosure. Going through my elementary school work and, oh my god, my happiest moment. Bug, how much do you overthink me? Do you ever kill a bug and wonder if their mama is sitting up waiting for them to come home, but they're dead? Mom, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Later, bed bug tries to bite me. Sorry, bed bug. My mom said no. Julia said that? Wow, I thought she was cool. When you took some firebug photos, but you don't have anyone to show them to. This might be the best compliment I've ever gotten. I feel like you're a Disney princess, but specifically for bugs. I can't wait to get a boyfriend. I'm all prepared. I punched some holes in the lid of this jar and I put some grass and a twig in it. Gestures to my unmown lawn. I'm choosing to let my yard grow wild to help the pollinators. Waves at the stack of dirty dishes. This too is for the pollinators. Trips over a pile of dirty laundry. Pollinators. I think about this text from my mum daily, waiting for me as I opened the door. A crab, loose, doesn't belong here. The tag of my shirt touching my neck, my brain. I meet someone. They tick all of the right boxes. It turns out they might not be the one. I flee the scene. Do you ever wish you were a weird girl's bug that she found outside, loved for a brief moment? The opposite of the elephant in the room is the centipede in the room. Something that's actually not an issue, but everyone is freaking out about. As someone who has worked in facilities housing highly venomous centipedes, I can assure you that a centipede in the room is in fact a very big issue. Who will date me? I will catch and release bugs. Catch them from outside and release them inside. Still single, by the way. Still single. Yes, I'm a millennial. I have high functioning depression and almond milk, and I have roommates, whom one is a spider and he hasn't paid utilities in months, but but he's a spider, so I'm afraid to ask for the money. Plus, I respect his importance to the ecosystem, and I am afraid of conflict. After 4 years, my girlfriend still gives me butterflies every time I see her. She knows I'm terrified of butterflies. They've taken over my home. Why does she do this to me? She's so mean. Someone help me, please. Therapist, you need to enjoy the little things, like ants. Not exactly. Baby ants. Our relationships with ants are weird. Ants are like, hey, I only want these crumbs, okay? And we're all like, no, you will not. I'm 3. I know everything. Ask me anything. I'm his dad, and will ask him any questions you send, as long as they are appropriate. What's behind your eyes? It's just a spider. Buy your honey straight from bees. Do business with bugs. Shake their little bug hands. And say, nice to meet you, bug. Let's make a deal. Moth, repeatedly bashing itself against my computer monitor. Me, it's not a touchscreen. You have to use the mouse. Toronto Zoo's new campaign lets people name cockroaches after their exes and bosses, and then they're used as food to the animals in the zoo. What kind of beer do spiders drink? Bug light. Bad joke. Spiders are not bugs, only insects of the order of Hominina are classified as bugs. And spiders aren't even insects. Maybe if you drank fewer beer and spent more time studying, you would know that, but it's your life. They eat bugs, you dumb big bitch. These people only kill the spiders they see. Humans are acting as an agent of natural selection, causing spiders to be selected for reclusion and intelligence. We are making spiders smarter. All bugs can be organized into one of 3 categories: homies, chillers, and haters. Hornets and wasps are haters. Mosquitoes are haters. Most spiders are homies because they eat bad bugs. Some spiders are chillers because they don't really do anything, but also some spiders are haters because they will kill you. Learn to tell the difference. These are the homies, but will become haters if you mess with them. Most beetles are chillers, but if they're kind of a beetle that flies really fast at your face, then they're haters. Army ants are used as natural stitches, such as sutures. Their jaws are so powerful, natives staple wounds by forcing ants to bite them and break off the body. It can remain securely in place for several days while natural healing process takes place. Honey is the tastiest of all insect vomits we have tried so far. Dear Reddit, if you were to do the deed with any insect scaled up to human size, what would it be? What the hell is wrong with you? The silly award, bug of the day, goes to Laterasternus Weevil. My mom put a Christmas tree up for the spider that built a web in her living room. You're in her DMs. I'm on Google looking up nutrient-rich soils. I would keep her in if she was a worm. If my girlfriend turned into a worm, I would build her a worm sanctuary and take care of her. When you compare the size of a gummy worm versus a gummy bear, it starts to paint a horrific picture of the gummy universe. This has to be one of the saddest deaths in cinematic history, and it's an ant. Unsure of how everyone else read this, but honestly, I thought this was a headline about a killer crab. The convicted killer crab walked between 2 walls and pushed through newly installed razor wire to break out of prison. Authorities say the adults of most moth species don't have mouths, but you can help. Donate your mouth to a moth in need. Remember, the difference between moth and mouth is you. I have super eyesight. We should form a team of superheroes. I have super strength. I have super hearing. I look like a stick. Spiders can hear you talk via vibrations in the hairs of their legs. If you put a water droplet on their limbs, they cannot listen in your conversations. And just like that, another problem solved thanks to the internet. I'm so sorry. Just ignore me. Again, sorry if I bug you tomorrow. I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm sorry for bugging you. Sorry. I'm so sorry for bugging you. Haters will see you snug bug in a rug and say, he is not snug. Iceland is the only country without mosquitoes, snakes, or other reptiles. They also have very few species of spiders, none of which are harmful to humans. What is this? An insect. What type? A green one. Yeah, but what's its name? Dave? Look, I don't want to tell anyone what to do, but if you go down that path, you will wake up 1,000 years later, and all of your great-grandchildren will be dead. He looks you in your eyes and tells you that you're his boo now. What do? Man sentenced to 5 years for manslaughter after triggering a hornet's nest that stung a man with bee allergy. My dad kept having trouble with my pronouns. They slashed them. So I told him to pretend I was a swarm of bees, and it somehow helped. What is the code entomologists use for? I stepped on it. I'm so sorry. It was dark out, and the specimen was very small. Impromptu dissection was performed under less than optimal lighting conditions. A donation comes from longtime butterfly collector and volunteer. Tom Hanks has a brother who is an entomologist, and my dad says he gets mad if you bring up Tom Hanks when he's trying to talk about bugs. I hate hiking with people who want to reach destinations or travel travel a certain distance. I love hiking with people who don't mind stopping every 30 feet to look inside rotting logs, or photograph spiders, or identify salamanders. People who hike for exercise confuse and terrify me. OMG, you understand. It's up to you to break the generational trauma. Spiders are dangerous, end it. Spiders are dangerous, end it. You don't have to kill spiders. Learn to identify the dangerous ones, so you know when to use caution. It takes little effort to catch and release them back outside. Found this cute little bugger outside my apartment. Looked kind of unwell, so decided to bring him to see if I could fix him up. ID or care tips? Lost track of him a minute ago, but I'm sure he will turn up. Haggling and hollering at the flea market. Buy one, get one flea, and I will give you this flea for that flea. I am itching, I am scratching. The bargains are incredible. A man says, "Fleas to meet you," and throws in my face, "Yes, it's fleas. This is the deal of the century." The game I'm working on has a bug in which you are able to give an unconscious character pasta. They will stand up, gratefully accept the pasta, then lie right back down. Listen, if I'm the only person willing to approach the arthropods in the house, then that means I get to decide what to do with it. Spoilers, it's going to include interesting facts and 0 murders. Me, it is a nice day. As I am filled with hubris, I will go outside and sit every bug in the universe at once. Cruel for too cruel, me who likes bugs a lot. Darlings, it's okay to cruel, but be careful of get squish. Bugs who are very smart. Between page of book, I will homesteed. I turn my page now. Oh my folly. Ant's face under electron microscope. Really hate when flies rub their hands together. What the hell are you planning? You have a lifespan of like 3 days. I don't know what journey that mantis is on, but this is clearly a boss fight. This ant uses its big head to block off the nest's entrance. Imagine being born, and you're literally just the door. Frogs with butterflies. They look like little frog fairies. Scientists, cockroach milk is remarkably rich in protein, fat, and sugar. I swear, if someone ever offers me cockroach milk as a refreshment, I'm beating their ass. What did you used to call these growing up? Friends? No, they're roly-polies. Snails make decisions using 2 brain cells. We have so much in common. This is a baby jumping spider. You telling me this thing jumps babies? Oh man, he dropped his spaghetti. Not one of these is a plant. The one that looks like a human hand impresses me the most. Like wow, wait 17 years, wake up, scream for 4 weeks, refuse to elaborate, die, say something. Finally, a shoe that can kill bugs in the corner of rooms. Dude, imagine being a bug and accidentally getting stuck in a car and driving far away from everything you know. This is the Japanese emperor caterpillar. So what you're saying is, this little guy runs Japan. I hate when a guy says, the bug is more scared of you than you are of it. Bro, did he tell you that? I felt something on my neck, so I slapped it, and this was in my hand. You gotta throw the whole neck away now. Do y'all think bugs are born knowing they can walk up walls? Or did they just accidentally do it one day and go, yo, Ant Simulator has been cancelled because all the money was spent on women and alcohol. Female dragonflies fake their own deaths to avoid males harassing them for sex. Spider eating a blood-filled mosquito. So some person just letting this battle go down on their skin like mosquito trap. The mosquito lands on the salt, thinking it's sugar, then gets thirsty for water, but the cap has rum in it. The mosquito gets drunk, trips on the stick, and bangs its head on the rock. There is no such thing as the perfect mosquito trap. Gigantic undersea bug in aquarium, poops for the first time in 2 years. Wasps could be just as valuable as bees if we give them a chance. Am I the only one who doesn't mind wasps? Let's eat Jerry's house. Looks delicious. Okay. Termite Twitter scares me. It's funny how we say, a bug hit my windshield, when we are the ones going 70 miles per hour. I'll bet the bug's family describes it differently. People will genuinely be like, bugs as pets? Nah, that's too weird. And then buy a dog, so inbred, it can't even breathe properly. Don't kill that spider in your house. It is unlikely to bite you, and it is good for the environment. The environment. Did a spider write this? Have just given the spider in my bathroom its eviction note. Leave. A snail with a wasp nest. The world of insects have invented aircraft carriers. Normalize pods with architecture for insects. This looks very unsafe. Where are the railings on the stairs? Some folks have been photoshopping their cats' faces onto bees, and I hope you get a blessing from it. Wood moth, native to Australia. This is the largest moth, and upon reaching its maximum weight, it is too heavy to fly. Quick animal fact, most flies don't even get paid to be annoying. They just do it for fun. Not a cell phone in sight, just living in the moment. Wish we could go back. There is a person at your front door. Look at how freaking content this snail is with his little stick. I think we all need to calm down and look at this snail again. I agree. So I got a notification from our security camera that someone was at our front door. Buzz him in. Incests are so beautiful. Venezuelan poodle moth. No sir, I think that is a Pokemon. We found it. We found the EV bug type. This is actually, I don't like this. Am I the only person who finds this kind of like weird? I don't know. Seems kind of cruel to me. So apparently I had to find out by accident today that stick bug eggs look like tiny pots and they hatch out by opening the lids and crawling out. The perfect animal doesn't exist. Say hello to the newly discovered sea bunny, a type of sea slug which has fluffy ears just like a rabbit. This is a terrifying use of a Kikuda exoskeleton. This mantis got offended. This is a wasp nest which has grown around the floodlights on a garage, and yes, you will see it in your nightmares tonight. If you never had a deep late night conversation on one of these tables with your friends at 1 a.m, what are you doing? I got 69 mosquito bites looking at this pig. This somehow ends up in your house. What are y'all doing? Selling that bad boy at retail for 12,000 bells. The lunar moth doesn't have a mouth or a digestive system, and it will only live for about a week with the singular purpose of mating. I'm not here to eat or sleep or do any of that. I'm just here to fuck and then die, and that's it. Scientists just erase certain memories from a snail's brain, and they think it'll work on humans too. Scientist, do you remember anything? Snail, oh my god, what have we done? A perfect celestial being. He is here with the quest for you. Travis Scott dressed as Batman for Halloween. This guy dressed up as a roach. A mosquito tried to bite me, and I slapped it and killed it. And I just started thinking like it was trying to get food. What if I went to the fridge and it just slammed the door shut and snapped my neck? How would I feel? Are you okay? A green shield bug laid eggs on the scissor handles, and the eggs looked like emojis. Giant murder hornets arrive in the United States and can kill people. Normal bugs. Disgusting. How can you eat bugs? Bigger bugs smell like fish stuff. OMG, so delicious. Okay, if bed bugs live in beds, does that mean I just swallowed a bug, and it tasted better than anything I've ever eaten. What am I supposed to do about this? Why does my body love to tell me there's an insect on my body when there isn't? How roaches be looking at you when you literally stomp them to death 5 times? A zombie spider covered in fungus, half dead, half alive, which can crawl around. Come on bruh, like regular spiders ain't enough. Honeybees let out a whoop when they bump into each other. My first time embroidering on a tulel. I thought this was an actual butterfly. I took the cockroach killer spray, but I mistook it and sprayed silver paint on it. Now it's armored and angry. Help. God's only intention in making Earth was this. Humans and everything else was an accident. Leaf sheep, the only animal that can photosynthesize. The funny little creatures have the face of a cow or sheep, but a back that looks like a houseplant. I want to eat one. This is a rosy maple moth. Why this moth look like she about to sing? A chunky bee. Man, maybe life isn't about finding the perfect lamp, but finding the lamp inside you. This moth looks like a pug. Coyote Peterson, after 43 minutes of trying to get stung by an insect no one knew existed, found a caterpillar outside and knowing it's just going to get cold and die in the winter, I threw him or her a birthday party. Happy birthday. Called this huge wasp at lunch. I'm so excited to go back to work and release it in the office building. What's your job? I'm a senior releasing bugs into an office intern. I've used this too much now, I'm not even gonna read it. A tree frog in Jember, Indonesia, shelters from the rain under a leaf. The amphibian reportedly held the leaf for 30 minutes before the storm passed. He looks so done with the rain. I recently learned that volcano snails exist. Their shells are made of iron, and they live around hydrothermal vents and can reach up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Has scales, lives around extreme heat, protected by iron. That is a dragon. 1 million cannibal ants trapped in a Soviet nuclear bunker have escaped. New bee simulator game is like GTA, but with bees. Wasps on their way to fly through a 2-centimeter gap in my window, just so they can bang their dumb insect skulls against it for the next 45 minutes and die. They're not dumb. Imagine thinking humans are the only intelligent species when this exists. Yeah, I've used this in a different video, so I'm not going to read it, but if you haven't seen it before, you know, here it is, I guess. Footprints left by a ladybug. If you glue a dead wasp to your hand, you can smack your boss on the back of the head as hard as you want and act like you saved him. So much drama in one photo. Somebody hold me back. This time grandma has gone too far. A wasp rolled over by a train. Bro got squashed so hard, he got integrated into the tracks. It was a bug, now it's a feature. Tried to take a photo of a grasshopper on my windshield, but it looks like it's a giant and destroying the town. Who was the man who first salted this slug? What was he thinking to try? I was being attacked by a giant stag beetle, and my cousin, who was a biologist in real life, kept telling me cool facts about about it instead of helping. This seems like a very biologist thing to do. The bagworm moth caterpillar collects and saws little sticks to construct elaborate log cabins to live in. A faithful assistant. Snail kiss on cherries. This is everything I want in my life. The 4 horsemen of animals that should go extinct. Bedbugs, mosquitoes, ticks, not wasps. Showing this to my roaches to give them body dysmorphia. Did you know that bees sleep between 5 to 8 hours a day, sometimes in flowers? Also, they like to sleep with other bees and hold each other's feet. I love bees. What do y'all call these bugs? Owl City made a whole bop dedicated to these things. And if you don't call it that, I can't mess with you. When it's summer and all the annoying creatures start to show up again. Giant bug found on the side of a Walmart turns out to be a super rare Jurassic era insect. Stick bugs can have sex for up to 79 days. If you could try any food from any movie or TV series, what would it be? Mine would be Ratatouille from Ratatouille, then bugs from The Lion King. A single ant can live to be 29 years old. What about a married one? Girlfriend looking on my laptop for evidence that I cheat on her, and find hundreds of short stories where I am shrunken to the size of an ant and must fight for my life. Hello, Professor. I will be a little late to class today. I'm not sure how late, but I will be there. I have been trying to find a way out of my room for over 20 minutes. There is a very big bug between me and the door, and when I move, it moves. And when it flies, its wings makes this awful whirring noise, like some vassal of horror. We are locked in a stalemate, and I am at every disadvantage, and I wholeheartedly believe this bug is aware of it. Respectfully, I am in tears. To prove that ants counted their steps, scientists took a few out of a line and attached tiny stilts to their legs. Since they took larger steps, the ants totally walked right by the food and got confused when they walked the correct number of steps, but there was no food. Here is a picture. I don't know if y'all Americans know this, but in Australia, instead of snow at Christmas, we get these little shiny bugs everywhere, and they're attracted to Christmas lights, and we call them Christmas beetles. And despite being Australian, they don't bite or anything. They just crawl around on your hand, and it's such a good and pure feeling. Despite being an Australian, we know what you're thinking, but this does not want to kill you. That picture of a guy at a graveyard, holding like a cup or something, with a Mothman-sized moth with him, both staring directly at the camera, is somehow the funniest image, but I haven't been able to find it in months. This one. Precisely that one. BRB, getting my snail chores done. Unlike humans, snails don't abide by the rules of night and day. Generally, snails will sleep on and off between periods of 13 to 15 hours. Afterwards, they experience a sudden jolt of energy for the next 30 hours, where they get all their snail chores done. The process of making friends with the carpenter bee. The death of my friend bee. Rest in peace.